we've been discussing throughout the live stream regarding in terms of which companies to invest, in terms of stocks going up, is it the best time to invest, or is it when stocks are going down, is an opportunity for you to invest on it. So for the local news, as I mentioned, we here have Jollibee Foods Corporation who are not doing so well. So is it the best time to invest? So you decide based on the article here. So let's take a look here. So investors are lukewarm on Jollibee Foods after Financial Times Stock Exchange rebalancing here, so or FTSE here. Anyway, so obviously Jollibee Food Corporation is a major company here in our country. So their stocks are being traded heavily last week because of what? Okay, because of their poor performance in this past quarter. Now, in terms of their shares, you can see here that their market price is now hovering around 130 pesos here. 4% lower compared to a week. So let's take a closer look in terms of Jollibee Food Corporation. Jollibee Food, sorry, wrong spelling, sorry. Jollibee Food Corp shares. So let's see here. Yeah, so. So you can see here, so their price is ranging from, oh, where is it? They're here. There's Market Watch. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so still loading. Okay, let's wait. There you go. So let's take a look in their charting. So that's just one day. So right now it's hovering around 138. So let's take a look 6 months ago. So let's look at their performance. Okay, it's loading still. So obviously they've been doing poorly. So let's take a look even further compared to a year. Okay, so you can clearly see here. So compared to late last year, they're still hovering above 200, but you know, with the start of the year, if you notice, it's trending downward from early January all the way, you know, going, you know, to as bad as during the pandemic, which is around March 16 here. You can see that the price, you know, plateaued at 121, which is, you know, which is bad in a sense. And if you notice here, it's not recovering, similar to how we discussed Nike shares earlier, and it's still hovering around between 100 to 150 pesos here. So what attributed the poor performance, which is Jollibee Food Corporations? Now, obviously some might think that, you know, Jollibee Food is a very popular, you know, very affordable product, so why didn't they generate as much revenue that, you know, one would expect, since they offer food and services here? Now, is it because of lower demand? Not necessarily. So what brought about here? So, well, based on their activities, they are focusing primarily on expanding their reach and market share abroad, rather than focusing on increasing or doing well in their domestic market. So let's take a look here. So where is it here? Yes. So they plan to open more stores. So let's see here, in particular here. So they plan to open more stores in California as well as in Canada. So that's more in the North American regions. They also plan to open stores in Liverpool, which is in the United Kingdom. So they also plan to open more stores in Leicester in England as well. So they plan to expand 50 restaurants in Europe in 3 to 5 years, which is, you know, based on their increase in shares and in profit, you know, it's looking even more promising to expand their reach. But obviously they might, not necessarily might, they have seemed to have neglected their local market, their dominance in their local market, you know, which affected their bottom line here in terms of comparing to other companies that did, you know, poorly, but not that to the point of losing as much as 20 billion pesos here, which is the case what happened here in Jollibee here. So you can see here that revenues declined by a fourth of almost 63 billion from the first semester, and attributed net loss of not 20 billion, sorry, 12 billion pesos. So which is a reversal of a 2.5 billion net profit of the same period compared to last year. So meaning what happened here? They did not prepare, did not anticipate, or did not make the necessary changes and still continued with their strategy with what they did at the start of the year and not adjusted when the pandemic occurred. Now, obviously, they're doing well in the international markets, but they seem to have neglected their poor performance here in our domestic market. Now, hopefully, they can still recover because they still have the second half or the latter half or the fourth quarter, which is the holidays here, which will rebound here. But the question here is, if you're an investor, is it a good time to invest in Jollibee Food Corporation? My advice is it's the best time because the price is now low. Eventually, it will go up again. Hopefully, it will go to above more than a 50. And best case scenario, it reaches back to the levels of 200 pesos here. So let me see here. What was the highest peak that they were able to reach? Yeah, a little over 200 pesos here. So you can, get a substantial amount in terms of how many shares you're going to invest in Jollibee Food Corporation.